Welcome to the second part of the Diaconal leadership. In this slide now we will continue with the reflection about leadership style in different situations. Here we can find different models, and we coming back to this basic question: what kind of leadership style and culture we desire for our Caritas organization. I put here two models where this situational leadership style is explained. One is the model of Hersey and Blanchard in 1972, where you see 4 squares where these leadership styles are explained using 2 variables: this supportive behavior and directive behavior. And with this low or strong or high directive behavior or supportive behavior, you can create these 4 leadership styles, starting in this S1 square where we find a directing style. That means high directive and low supportive behavior. And then the other styles are the coaching style or the supporting style, and coming to this final style, which means the delegating leadership style. Another model is Fiedler's contingency model. Here we will find an 8-octant continuum based on 3 main areas: the leader-member relations, the task structure, and the power position. The leader-member relation is just divided in good or poor. Task structure can be high or low, and the position of power strong or weak. And then here you will find different ensembles using these 3 areas. What all these leadership styles want to express is that we don't have only one style to act in a situation. It depends on these different variables. Very interesting part I found in this model, which is very much complex, and it is called the connective leadership from John Lipman-Blumen. This model really wants to express more the complexity of the work we can find here in this area of leadership. You see, there are 3 parts. There's the relational part, the directive part, and the instrumental part. These 3 areas want to move forward and style, which is called in the directive style the masters your own task, in the relational style the contribution to others' tasks, and in the instrumental the maximization of interaction. All of these elements have some sub-elements and variables that want to explain in a deeper way how these leadership styles can connect together, make an impact on the organization. So for example, in the direct leadership area, master your own task, you have to show an intrinsic orientation, the competitive outperforms, the power, so you take charge there. In the relational part you will have contributory, vicarious, collaborative, and in this interaction importance to entrusting, the social networks, the personal relationship. You will find more information in the internet about these connective leadership styles. The idea is putting it all together. So, because no individual style is the only style that can better fit to all, so you have to put together these different elements. So the purpose of the connective leadership achieving style is to identify leadership strategies based on these styles and to call attention to the wide range of behaviors available to all leaders. So that means the more behaviors they are available to a leader, the more possibilities here to adapt his leadership to each situation. So we can come back to the situation, what kind of leadership style, culture we desire for our Caritas organization. And I think there are some answers that are too simple. It's not just to say, okay, we are a Caritas organization, so we only have to follow the leadership style of Jesus, because then we have to start, how was this style? How can this style be adapted to 21st century organizations and to our people and to our roles we maintain? On the other side, we feel that we have to to create a leadership style according to our identity, and that means that leading without spirituality, just using a business model, can be too short for our organization, because as we saw in the first model, we have some specific characteristics, and these are not just superficial elements. No, they are they are core elements for our organization, for our forms, how we do our job, and for our objects, and that's what we want to do. Sorry. Well, let's talk about our Caritas organizations. So we can see that we have to put together two elements. Caritas organizations are on the one side religious organizations. They are linked to the church, to the faith traditions. So we have to say theology in some kind matters. On the other side, Caritas organization as not-for-profit organization has to do something with economy. So economy matters too. And this is almost something like a tension. And we have to bring together, and when we are talking about leadership, these questions of how is the organization appears. So I think one response could be thinking about Caritas as a multi-principle organization, because we will find some opposed logics in the goal orientation. So on the one side we have efficient work orientation, on the other side we have solidarity and gratuity. We have service delivering by paid professional work, but on the other side we have service by volunteer work. We are community based as church related, and on the other side we are program centered. We can find different groups of interests. The poor, the bishop, the public administration, social workers, volunteers, and so on. And finally, we have different ethical frameworks we can consider when we are talking about our organization. And the question is, should we use just business ethics, virtue ethics, or other forms? My impression is that we should try to bring both fields together. So economy matters, yes, and theology matters too, yes. And so we should bridge these areas and these different principles we can find in our organizations. And this is the work we have to do, and when we're talking about leadership, we have to do this too. So let's just remember some of the essences of our organization within the first model. So we talked at the background of a Trinitarian community of love. This important element is this personal reciprocity. Jesus is a person, so that means being Christian is the result of an encounter. So encounters, relationships, human personal reciprocity is important. So finally, we are a person-centered organization, and we should take this into account, not only looking towards the people we serve, we should take this into account especially to our members too. And then there's one clear message that appeared strong in the last year. Is love in truth is this principal driving force behind the authentic development of every person and of all humanity. This is the important message that we should reconsider and think about. If this is true, what does this mean for our organization, for our identity? So just remember some elements: church-based organization, charity ministry, the twofold organization, community to serve, and serving as community structure, and so on. So we should be credible, we should have a personal presence, and we are a communitarian relational network. This is our organization and our background. So we have a service of love in the community of love. This means we have a community to serve and serving as a community structure. What leadership style and culture reflect these values? This is now the main question. Do we have just conceptual ideas, so searching for compatible theories? Do we have to define the constructs? Yes, we should measure practice too. So these ideas had to put in practice, and we have to search how is this lived in our organizations. To go further, we are trying to do it by the next slides and the next input. Thank you very much.